Say hi, Dada.
So today we're tackling these guys right here. The front seats. Look at this damage. Look at this. Let me lay these guys down so you can really see. Here go all my nuts and bolts. Put those back here. These seats are heavy. Heavy. Whew. Let's get a full walk around so we know what we started with. And I know most of y'all doing this, y'all seats cannot be as bad as this. Like, look at this. Look at the stains. The cracks. I mean, it's cracked all the way through the foam. Like, look at that. Big hole. Let's do a size comparison. And my hand is big. Size 12 foot. Like, that is a hole, boy. Top corner, look at that. Armrest don't look bad, but it is fucking, I mean, it is terrible. It's not gonna work. Other hole all the way to the burlap. Look at that. Holes, cracks. I mean, this thing is done. Let's look at the back now. Whew, this is the back. The back actually looks pretty good. The side. So this back shell piece actually is reusable. The strap is actually reusable too. So I'll probably reuse that. Let's see the other side. The other side looks good too. Get a good side view. Buttons need to be clean, but they are in good condition. This piece is like 10 or some shit, and this in terrible condition, but it could be cleaned. I could reuse this too. This plastic is broken, but it's all good. I can fix that. This back bottom part is actually good too, but I doubt I'm gonna reuse it. I could reuse it, but I doubt it. This one has a little puncture hole in it, but if I wanted, I could actually fix this hole and reuse this, but I don't know if I will. I doubt I will. Carpet on the bottom, got to go. Totally, I mean, this shit is done. Let's look underneath. Wires, the wires all look good. Somebody probably look like these was probably replaced prior, because all these wires look pretty damn good, like damn near new. But yeah, that's what we're starting with. So this is the before. Now I'm gonna show you how to step by step break these guys down, and then we're gonna get to the after. It's gonna be a long video, so bear with me. So first thing we gotta do to start reupholstering these seats is we gotta disassemble them. So in order to disassemble these seats, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of little tiny Phillips head screws everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. On the side. Little Phillips head screws everywhere. The buttons have them. So I got my drill, and I'm gonna start unscrewing all these screws. Oh, also, before you do this, you might want to just take a lot of pictures of all these screws so you know where they go. That way, when you go to put it back together, you don't have to like guess what screw goes where, you know? So take pictures on your cell phone or whatever. That way when you're putting them back together, you know where each and every one of these goes. I'm gonna cut you back on once I take out all these screws. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, this is the armrest. I got the seat flipped up, but this is the armrest. Just so you can see it goes like that. Underneath this part of the seat, like right in here, there's 4 bolts. I doubt you can see them. Oh, there you go. You can see one right there. But there's one right here and there's one up top. And they are 7/16 size bolts. So I'm just unscrewing this, making it easy on myself with this little extension. And that's what I'm doing to get the armrest loose. So now I got those 4 screws out. I unscrewed them. So now all you gotta do is pull. Have it up like this, just pull straight up, and back. And this thing comes out. It's still connected, but as you see, by screws right here. But it's basically, this part is basically free. Now you can start working on this inner framework. So let me get these 4 screws so I can get this piece out, clean this trash out. Like, what the hell is this? Researching the laws, teaching the found? What the hell? Bishop Dale C. Bronner, Word of Faith. Okay. Somebody's jamming out to some gospel. Now let me clean this up and then I'm gonna cut you back on. So on the bottom of the seat, so this is where we at right here. This is the side. There's this little hard metal side molding. To take that off, this is just Phillips head in the front, Phillips head in the back. On the driver's side, you got these controls. And again, Phillips head, take them out. Passenger side, there's no controls. I've already taken this side out so you can see. You just unscrew. You just unscrew the 2 screws in the front. It's the 1 screw in the back. You can leave the plate because it doesn't affect it all. And it just falls right off. You just pull it right off. So I'm gonna do this side and get back with you. Once you get here, it's 2 screws. There's one right here on the left and one right here on the left. Once you unscrew those, this control panel will be free. And if it doesn't fall out immediately, you could just wiggle it and it'll pop loose. And then you'll have this piece totally free. Okay, so at this point, it's like a couple days after I shot this video, and I realized that the order that I actually took the seats apart and disassembled the seats was not the most efficient way to disassemble the seats. So I'm gonna chop the rest of the video up in the actual order that you need to follow to take the seats apart the correct way. So in order to get these seats out, it is really tricky. So I'm gonna show you the trick on how to release the seats from the low position. All right. You gotta, this is the back. You gotta undo this side bolt, which is tucked down in this pocket. So this is the side of the seat. I cut this open because I'm not gonna reuse this cover. If I was gonna reuse it, I wouldn't do that. I would just struggle with it. So this is the bolt on the side of the seat right here. I got a flathead screwdriver. I basically just got up underneath it, and I'm just wiggling it to kind of bring it forward. Once you wiggle the washer off, you can then get a crowbar and like pop this off of the of that bolt. Once you do that, this side will still be locked in. Now, if you wiggle it back and forth, you turn it and all that stuff, it's not gonna come out, no matter what you do. You can yank it, you could push it, you could twist it. What you have to do is, you have to lay it, you have to let the seat up, lay it totally flat, and then once you lay it totally flat, lift from this side, like this, and it comes out. I was trying everything. I turned it this way, I tried to pick it up that way. You have to pull it as far as you can this way first, and then lift from this side, like this, and it comes out. Now that you got the backrest of the seats removed, you can follow the rest of the steps in this video, and it'll be 100 times easier than what I was going through with the backrest on. On the side of these seats, there's these little trim pieces, these little like buckles. There's a button right here, there's a buckle right there. Now, in order to get this button out, it's 2 screws. All you do is unscrew 2 screws, and then you pull it out. Simple. But this right here, you might be wondering, how do I get this out? It's just a pop on. So I got a little paint scraper here, and I'll just work it in like this. Work it around the edge, around the top, and I'll just keep working it. Oh, see? And it comes right off. And in order to get this strap off, there's a screw inside of here. It's on both sides, and that's how you get the strap off. Now, to get these seats off, once you take the belt off, and all these little screws in the bottom, the little screw right there on the side. Once you take that off and the little screw, it's another screw in here. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's like right here in the bottom. So it's the last screw right here. Dust bunnies falling out. Now the trim is totally free. Now that I have this trim off the back, now would be a good time to take up pictures of how this looks without the trim on the back. Because you see you got some hog rings here that hold the seat together. On the side, there's hog rings down this side. So same thing right here, hog rings, hog rings. This will be a good time to take pictures so you kind of get an idea for where your hog rings go in the future. Also, you see this tape. See how big this tape is? Like, just take, see this? It'd be a good time to take pictures of all of this so you don't have to like try to remember, you just know, you know? So that's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna do this seat too the same way. So in between these seats, when you let the seat forward, there's this little trim piece right here inside. And underneath this trim piece, you can see it's 2 bolts, and that's on both sides. Those 2 bolts will free this up, so you can take this off. So, Okay, so I'm unscrewing these screws right here underneath this little cap. So this is just a little side note. These screws right here, every single one of them, when I put the torque wrench on them and tried to unscrew them, at some point they broke. So be careful. Don't just put your impact on that thing and then start going, because it'll snap the head right off. All of these joints broke at some point, but I got them out enough to where when they did break, I didn't have to worry about it later on, because so much of it was unscrewed already that it'd be nothing to just drill out the little pieces on the inside. But be careful with these. The last things you need to remove are these rubber bushings you see right here, the black rubber bushings. It's a Phillips head screwdriver and they come right out. It's one on each side. Also, there's these clamps. It's kind of like a stopper that are held in by 2 hex bolts. You just unbolt those 2, save those pieces, put them aside for later. And with that concludes the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next part where we reskin the seats.